Brought to you by Kellogg's, the folks who bring the best to you each morning. A wide choice of cereals in the forms you like best. Yours from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line?
Now let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to all. And I can't think of a nicer present for the movie industry than the news that early next month a new picture is going to start, which is going to be very much like Pillow Talk, because it's going to be funny, and it's going to be made in Hollywood, and it's going to have Rock Hudson and Doris Day, and the gentleman on my left, Tony Randall.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone. You know, not a week goes by that someone doesn't say to me, or several people don't say to me, is Arlene Francis really as nice as all that? Can anybody be as nice as that? The answer is no, not everybody could. But Arlene can. Arlene?
Thank you, Tony. And now the Santa Claus of Random House that any chimney would be glad to hold. Our own Father Timeless, Bennett, Cerf.
And here's our panel moderator and a bridegroom, probably the handsomest bridegroom who runs any CBS panel show on Sunday night, a man under the influence of a guided mistletoe, John Daly.
Guided mistletoe. Days to Betsy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. It's nice to have you with us. Winter having come upon us in these last couple of weeks, we look upon anybody who gets out and braves the elements, even on nice days, as those who have rare courage. It's nice of you to have come. Nice to have the panel here, but just for the usual purpose, we'd like to rough them up. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger after this. Well, panel, I do think we should put one note into the record. As of next week, we'll all have to watch our diction, because for our viewers in the Boston area, as of January 1st, What's My Line is going to be seen on WHGH-TV, which is Channel 5. And Bennett can take that Boston accent of his and his guided mistletoes, and let's see what we can do with our first contestant. Please, would you enter and sign in?
It's been a Merry Christmas, all right, but...
Went too far.
Yeah.
Louise Doria and Lucille Holloway. Is that right? If you're going to line up here with me so that we have to introduce you to the panel, and I have to know, first of all, is it Miss or Mrs. Holloway, or Miss and Mrs., or Mrs. Mrs.?
Mrs.
It's what?
Both Mrs.
Both Mrs. Holloways? Well, that's fine. Where are you from?
From Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida? Good. May I present our panel?
They're both Mrs.
Both Mrs. All right, now would you please join me over here? We'll sort of have to, if you don't mind, I'll squeeze in first, and we'll move the chairs together, and if you don't mind sitting over here a little bit close to me, why, everything will be fine. And now, if I have one thing, do you know how we keep score on this?
Mm-hmm.
We flip the thing?
Yes,
All right, then let's let the audience in the theater and the folks at home know exactly what your lines are. All right, panel, we can tell you that our guests are both salaried and both deal in a service, and we'll begin the general questioning
with Bennett Cerf.
Just for our information, Mrs. Doria and Mrs. Holloway, are you sisters?
Yes.
Twins?
Yes.
I take it that the fact that you're twins has nothing to do with the service you perform.
No.
Yes, it does not.
Yes, it does not have anything to do. Tampa, Florida is the home of a lot of cigar factories. Have you got anything to do with smoking of any kind?
No.
How do you like getting it twice? Do that again. Say no together.
No.
No, that's right. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Mrs. Doria and Mrs. Holliday, do the services that you render apply to both sexes? No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Randall.
You perform a service that is principally available to one sex.
Yes.
Is that sex a good one? I couldn't think of an answer to my finish to my own question. Oh, it's been a big Christmas at our house. Is that service likely to make that particular sex feel better about the whole thing?
Sometimes.
Well, now, this is an admission which I can't let sit in the record. Let me say that I'm sure that when either of our guests complete the service which they have to render, it would be only some sloth like, well, I don't want to mention any names, who wouldn't have a sense of well-being.
Yes. I think I see my next question. Is the sex for whom you for which you perform your service the superior one?
No. Big, loud.
No.
No, you go out on that one. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss President.
I don't know. We were thinking of men. But they may not have been.
I know it.
Oh, I think so. By your no, am I led to understand that you agree with Mr. Randall that the male sex is the superior sex?
No, opposite. They said, is it for the superior sex?
He said, do they perform their service for the superior sex? And they said no.
That's right.
You...
Yes.
If they don't perform it for the superior sex...
They consider the man the inferior sex, and they're
How do you
performing
know?
it. I can tell it in their
Bennett's
faces.
been living.
I think they perform their service for men, which is not the superior sex. It's an equal sex.
That is correct.
Ha, 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 ho, 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 who got the last laugh.
What's it for? I'm confused.
They do perform
for
their
women.
services for men.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Well, that's what I thought you meant.
I know, but
But that isn't what they thought he meant.
they got me on a super irritation.
Never mind. Anyway, your services are given to men. Do you in any way advise or instruct men in your particular service?
It does.
I would say that there is an element of advice which could be requested, and it might even be offered unrequested. It could be a part, but isn't necessarily a part of the service.
For the most part, are the men that come to you unmarried?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Did Arlene put that in the wrong way? Are most of the men who come to you married?
Well, I
they
think
must be
that
if you
what
say
we've tried
no
to-
for they're unmarried.
Well, what we've tried to convey is that this is not really a paramount issue, and since the figures are not readily available,
No, you
to us,
cannot give me a no on that, because if Arlene gets a no for them not most of them being unmarried, then most of them must be married.
Let him have it. It's Christmas, John.
All right, Bennett. I concede the point.
Thank you, sir. Does the service that you perform for these gentlemen make it necessary for you to touch them in any way?
Yes.
When you touch them, are they in other than a standing position? Are they?
Yes.
Do they giggle is your next question.
Do you touch them above the waist?
Yes.
You touch them above the neck?
Yes.
Would you, in any sense, be in the barbering profession?
You're right.
Barber? Are you lady barbers?
You're absolutely right.
They're lady
Our
barbers.
two charming guests are barbers. Men's
Why do more
barbers.
married men have their hair cut than single men, John?
Because there are more married men.
Mostly because their wives are forever sending them to the barbers to get their hair cut. Not only that, but Mrs. Doris and Miss Holloway went to the Tampa Barber College, didn't you?
Yeah.
They're graduate barbers, and they have a very interesting and happy life working professionally in the Waldorf. I knew I should remember the name. The Waldorf Barber Shop in Tampa, and I must say that your visiting us has been as much pleasure as I'm sure it would be.
May
if
I
we could
add just a little personal note? My secretary's a barber, too.
Really?
Yes, Mary Barber, her name is.
You added in, thank you.
All I can say is I hope 1961 will be better. And I must say, for our lovely lady barbers, we'll flip all those over, and thank you very much for being wonderfully charming guests. Thank you. All right. Let's try a second challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please?
These are the husbands
Sig.
that got their hair cut.
Sig Roush. And Joe R-A-U-C-H Roush. Right. Nice to meet you, Joe. Matthias Roush. That's right. Where are you from?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well. You've heard, I dare say, that wonderful joke about the Alaskans who were bragging right after they got statehood that they had the biggest state in the Union to some Texans who were up there. The Texans finally got mad and said, if you don't quiet down, I'll send for some friends. We'll have a cocktail party, and you'll be the size of Rhode Island. May I present the panel, please? Will you join me over here?
Good.
Messieurs Roush, do you know how we keep score?
Yes, sir.
All right, then let's let the audience in the theater and the good folks at home know exactly what your line is. Draw this over here a bit, and we'll all divide chairs among ourselves. There we are. Sig and Joe, you know, don't fight center of City Hall there.
Well, it's kind of hard to divide.
All right, panel. We can tell you that the Messieurs Roush are self-employed and that they deal in a service, and we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Messieurs Roush, may I rule out that you have anything to do with barbering?
Yes, that's fair, yes.
It's fair?
Sure, it's fair.
Is your service something that those of us on the panel might use?
Yes. Definitely, yes.
Would we come to you for this service?
Yes, yes.
Do you work indoors?
Sometimes.
You can perform your service then outdoors, is that correct?
Naturally.
You'll do it any place you're asked to perform it, huh?
As a matter of fact, I might add here, just as a footnote, that sometimes they have to do it outdoors.
That's true. Right. You have to almost do anything when you want to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there anything entertaining about what you do? Would people be liable to watch you while you're performing your services?
No, I don't think so. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Roush, does the service that you perform improve the people for whom you're working or their surroundings?
Improve, you mean in a physical way?
Does it help either the people or the place where they are residing?
You mean in a physical way, does it change the...
Does it help them in some way?
Does it help them in some way? I would say that people who engage their services could be considered to have been helped in the event the services were successfully concluded, yes.
Definitely.
Would you say that people would be helped more than their surroundings would be helped?
Yes, I think that's
I think
that's
say
fair. It's a fair comment.
Do you come in physical contact with the people whom you help?
Sometimes.
But this is not necessary to the successful conclusion of the work which they are seeking to perform.
It is not necessary.
We hope, most of the time.
Do you give the people whom you are serving any valuable advice or instruction?
Sometimes. Yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Do the people that get your services get them voluntarily?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Well, what we'd have to say, those who would seek to engage their services directly certainly would not voluntarily do it, except in the sense that they would seek the service out themselves. And sometimes they would hear about their services elsewhere performed with excellence and dispatch and go seek them out. And the other end, services to whom the people to whom they're purveying the services might consider that the action was not entirely voluntary when it was purveyed.
Have you completed your essay?
Yeah.
Your oration? What I meant was there is nothing connected with judicial services or anything to do with prisons or policing in your work. Is that correct?
I know. He asks the darndest questions. He's a very confusing boy. And then he won't listen when we're answering, you know.
Well, I want a yes or a no, John.
Well, Bennett, I can't give you a yes or no. We will say to you that there are certain aspects of the services which they deliver which might be considered to impinge upon the area of policing and law. But this does not necessarily suggest that they directly exercise police powers themselves.
Would you come under anywhere near the heading of detectives or private eyes?
No. No. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
I'm going to get 1 yes if it kills me. Are you related?
What's that, ma'am?
Are you related to each other?
Oh, yes.
You got a double yes.
Here. When you purvey your services, is a piece of paper involved, or pieces of paper?
Yes.
Do you give these pieces of paper to people on instruction from other people?
Sometimes, yes.
It could be a necessary function as a part of the service, but it would not in each case require the direct handing of paper hand to hand.
In any instance, do the people on either end of your service, which seems to be very flexible, do they ever wind up in court?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
But the winding up in court would be, let us say, a phase normally going beyond that phase which they would normally exercise in their persons.
Making you work tonight.
They're not. They're not.
I love Houston too.
Oh, it's a beautiful glorious.
Do you perform your services for men and women too?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Do you have to see the people in order? I don't mean the people who hire you, but the people that you go out to see and give the pieces of paper to.
No.
Well, you could
3
nail it.
down and 7 to go. Not in every case, no. I'm going to give you 1 more minute because you don't seem to be getting close here.
Are you, is special training required for your profession?
Yes.
A degree of training, yes, Tony, but this does not suggest, you know, graduate work seeking a degree or the granting of same.
Since police work was ruled out and law was not, is it fair to assume that you are in some manner concerned with legalistic procedures?
Yes. Some phase, yes.
Since advanced training seeking a degree is ruled out, I can assume you are not lawyers.
That's right.
You're sub-lawyers of some sort.
That sounds formidable.
Is that better than being a lawyer?
I don't know, we'll have to look it up.
What do sub-lawyers do? You're not policemen, and you're not lawyers, and you're in the legal profession.
They're dog catchers, probably.
No, they're self-employed. You do not work for any branch of the government, correct?
That's true. No.
Yes, they do not know.
Yes, they do.
I think we need a conference.
All right, 30 seconds for a conference.
The only thing left that sounds right, that's legalistic and could get you wound up in court, is a process server. But don't they have to?
They
hand
work for the
these
government.
papers?
These fellows
No.
are self-employed.
No, process servers don't. Process servers don't.
Process server has
or
to
bill
see the
collectors.
people, has to see
Bill
people,
collectors. What about bill collectors?
Yeah, people.
That got the biggest hand. Are you bill collectors?
Yes, they are.
Oil well went dry.
An oil well? I don't believe an oil well ever goes dry in Texas.
Oh, sure. Sometimes.
Around Houston?
Oh, yeah. Well, then they can find gas.
Then they can find
sure.
gas. Well, that could lead to all sorts of things. The Lone Star Collection Agency in Houston,
Right.
run by the two brothers, who both, by the way, went through the Air Force service together.
That's right. That's true.
And we wish you
They
much
can
luck
serve
and
you in the
success. It was
in the
fun to have you with us. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my friends on the panel are all blindfolded. Blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? In the case of our mystery guest, we go to a different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin it all with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you at present appearing in person anywhere in New York?
Yep. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Randall.
That was no, wasn't it?
That was a no, yes.
Sounded like a male no, though it's hard to tell. Are you at present appearing, not in person, but appearing in New York?
Mm-hmm.
As in a movie, that's what I mean.
Nope.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you associated with the arts?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Are there more than, is there more than one mystery guest tonight?
Yes.
Miss Kilgallen?
Are you of different or opposite sexes?
You.
What? Yes?
That was a yes, Mr. Randall.
Is one of those sexes superior? Thanks. Are you a husband and wife entertainment team?
Nope. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you related in any way?
I related to whole human race.
But not related, our guests are not related one to another in any way. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
They're not related.
Have you appeared together as an act for a considerable period of time? No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
And they're not married.
Well, then what are they doing here?
Yeah.
Are you about to make or have you made some movie or play together in which you play together?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Randall.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I will, for the information of the panel, say the truth is here unmasked in all of its pristine glory.
Boy, I don't think it's very pristine.
No, nor glorious.
They're not related.
They've never worked
performed
together.
together.
No.
They're not in the... Did you say no to the related arts?
They're in the arts.
They are in the
I don't know
arts.
if they're related.
Uh-huh.
We didn't establish
Related to the arts, yeah.
All right.
1.
Are you performers in the arts as opposed to behind-the-scenes performers?
Answer there, yes and no.
There comes a time when a man talks too much. I know who one of them is.
Take your guests off because we are running
It's
out of time
Martin,
and meet your
Gabel, and Alec, and
respective
Phyllis.
husbands and wives. Normally, I take time out to introduce our guests to the panel. Tonight, I don't have to. I can just say thank you very much to all for coming and being a wonderful, wonderful mystery.
I never felt so foolish in my life.
He talked too much.
Well, all in all, you've done very well tonight, panel. Congratulations. We'll be back after this word from our new alternate sponsor. And because it is this day, I will speak for all the panel and say more than our usual good night. I will say we hope you've all had a wonderfully Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year, and thanks for being with What's My Line.
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. The preceding program was pre-recorded.